All right, so this Knife Thoughts video is going to be a quick video on this knife, and this is the Anza Gray Bone Skinner. And first of all, this is from Boss Steel Blades. Joel sent this to me for review, and I wanted to wait until I got to use this in hunting season. I'm planning to use this, hopefully, to break down deer if I get one, but I haven't gotten the chance to go archery hunting, so the rifle season is still a little ways out, and I wanted to make this video before too long, so I might do an update to it here later. So as always, make sure you are subscribed, click the bell and select all so you know when I post new videos, and check out my other social media on Instagram and Facebook, as well as my website knifethoughts.com, where I post articles on knives like this and knife related topics. But like I said, this was sent to me by Joel of Boss Steel Blades. I wanted to show one of the stickers that he sent along, just to kind of show you the logo and how to get to it. But I put them all on things. So it's just bosssteelblades.com, and I'll put a link in the description. But I met Joel at the Great Eastern Cutlery Rendezvous. He's one of the dealers for Great Eastern Cutlery, and he had a lot of good things to say about these Anza knives, and I have heard of them before but never got to check one out. So I said, yeah, I'd love to check one out, and he sent this along. So like I said, this is their Skinner, and it is in gray bone, and you can see here Anza USA 18, which I assume means that this was made in 2018. But these are 100% USA handmade knives. They just are at, a lot less than your typical United States or American made fixed blade prices. So this knife is on sale on Boss Steel Blades for just under $74. So really inexpensive. They range from around $50 at the lowest, I think, up to some of the folders are in the $200 range, but most of them are under $200. And kind of the claim to fame for these Anza knives is that they're made out of tempered files. So you can see that this still has that bastard file pattern with the two-directional teeth that are, certainly they are not as sharp as they would be on an actual file. They are definitely sanded down, but you can still see them, so it gives you that cool look. You can see one directional there and two directional there. So that's a really kind of interesting and unique feature and way of making the knives. It gives them a pretty cool look. And also these files are generally good steel, not super steel like a lot of modern steels like M390, things like that. It is definitely a carbon steel, and it is not a super alloyed steel, but they work really well. And I found that first of all, this knife came really sharp, and it stayed sharp. I was being that it's not a high-end steel, I was using this a lot in like yard work this summer, and I found that it stayed sharp really nicely. Has an interesting edge. I believe that this is a hollow grind, and it comes down to a nice thin profile there, as you can see behind the edge, and then almost a convex grind or convex edge for the secondary bevel. So it's an interesting kind of combination of a hollow grind and then maybe a slightly convex edge. All the way up to the tip there, you can see that secondary bevel goes up to the tip. You can see the reflection there. So it cut really well, and because it is a nice simple carbon steel, it sharpened up easily. I just used my Spyderco double stuff and Stropping Young Lads strop that I use, and it cuts really well. The other thing is that this handle is really comfortable also. I wasn't real sure at first, but it has this nice guard, which is good for when you're skinning. You don't want to slip and cut your finger. And then the finger scallops fit my hand really well. You can see you get a full four-finger grip really easily. The thumb can sit right here, or of course, what you do a lot of the time when you're skinning is you can get your finger to the end of the blade, and you see it has this kind of downturn here, which helps with indexing. So, I am looking forward to using this for its intended purpose because I think that it'll work well. But you can see that these scales are glued on. I don't see any sort of pin or anything like that. That should work fine. Of course, I would rather it did have pins, but you know, there are a lot of people or a lot of companies that epoxy on the scales. So like I say, I will use this and hopefully do an update video once I have put it to its intended use. But the handle's comfortable, and I will keep using it to see about the durability of the glued handles or covers or however you want to call them. And then it does come with a leather sheath. This is a pretty classic leather sheath. You can see it's like taco style with the fold over belt loop, and it fits, you know, fine. It doesn't have great retention, so this is going to be semi-dangerous, but I'll turn it away from me. It can definitely slide out of there if you shake it. But I mean, if you have this on your belt and it's upside down and shaking like that, something very, very intense is going on. So hopefully that doesn't happen. I use this particularly, I carried it when I was weed eating around our cow fence a lot this summer, and I didn't think that it was, you know, ever close to falling out, but it doesn't have the type of retention that, you know, a Kydex sheath or something like that might. But I have enjoyed using this so far. I've honestly been impressed more than I was expecting to be. It's, you know, not the most, I guess, elegant looking knife. It is more of like a hardy working type looking knife, and I think that's what it's intended for. It's not a super high-end fancy schmancy type knife. The finishing isn't perfect. You can see the handle scales aren't the same length and things like that, but it's going to work well. And like I said, I will do an update once I have used it more. So one more time, make sure you're subscribed, click the bell and select all. And last but not least, don't forget to go out and do good.